Mischief Evolution 777.
A gunman in Arizona has shot a member of the U.S. Congress in the head at point-blank range and killed 6 other people, among them a 9-year-old girl and a federal judge.
22-year-old Jared Loeffner opened fire outside a Tucson, Arizona grocery store, shooting Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, federal judge John M. Rawl, and 16 others. At least 6 are dead and counting. Congress passed 3 laws against Westboro Baptist Church. Congresswoman Giffords, an avid supporter of sin and baby killing, was shot for that mischief. A federal judge in Baltimore, part of the massive military community in Maryland and in the District of Columbia, put Westboro Baptist Church on trial for faithful words from God. Federal Judge Rawl paid for those sins with his life. Today, mouthy witch Sarah Palin had Representative Giffords and a crosshairs on her website. She quick took it down, however, because she's a cowardly brute like the rest of you. The crosshairs to worry about are God's, and He's put you in His, and your destruction is upon you.
A while back, ladies and gentlemen, there was a young man by the name of Matthew Shepard who just so happened to be gay. He was basically at a bar. A couple Christians came in and basically pretended as though they were interested in him in a relationship type manner, sexually. So they led Matt Shepard out to a field. They tied him to a barbed wire fence. They beat him to practically death. After they were satisfied with the beating that they had done, they left him basically crumpled over on a barbed wire fence out in the middle of a field, letting nobody know where the young man was, and they drove away. In the morning, Matt Shepard was found by a young man who was riding by on a 10-speed, and he was rushed off to the hospital. Matt Shepard did not survive the incident that the Christians had basically done to him. Ever since then, whenever Reverend Phelps, Shirley Phelps, the Phelps family, are out picketing funerals of American soldiers, or they're doing what they do, spreading their hate and pushing their Jesus hatred into society, they always carry signs that say, Matt is burning in hell. A lot of people may not know what that sign even means. They may not even know who this Matthew character is. I figured I would shed some light on you all, give you a little bit of a history of Reverend Phelps and what the Christian cult is all about. Not long after that incident, ladies and gentlemen, there have been horrible weather conditions that have killed millions of people. And every time that happens, folks like Pat Robertson and Reverend Phelps and many other religious leaders out there accuse the United States of being evil and not under the protection of God. They accuse the entire world of being under the devil's strings, and they praise God for the destruction of men, women, and children. When 9/11 occurred, where the Muslims fucking decided to run an airplane into the towers, Reverend Phelps, Pat Robertson, as well as many other Christian leaders stood up and basically stated that the reason why that happened because God took His protection off the United States of America, and God was bringing His wrath and vengeance down on humanity. A young and talented actor by the name of Heath Ledger, who played the Joker in the latest Batman movie, who also starred in a movie called Brokeback Mountain, where he starred as a homosexual who was basically trying to have a relationship with another gay man. He ended up passing away. In real life, he was a married man, had a child, The whole 9 yards. But Reverend Phelps didn't like the fact that he starred in a movie as a homosexual when Heath Ledger wasn't even a homosexual at all. He was just acting in a movie. Reverend Phelps and his family carry signs around basically saying that Heath Ledger got what was coming to him. Heath Ledger this, Heath Ledger that. God's wrath be upon him and he'll be burning in hell. Besides Reverend Phelps and his family getting so much controversy from picketing funerals, screaming, yelling, sometimes stones are thrown, almost as if we're living in Old Testament times, Reverend Phelps and his family have got to be privileged with being on the news, with being on talk shows, getting paid, making money to sit there and spread their Jesus hate all over the place like a fucking plague, a disease of madness. When I listen to Reverend Phelps and his family do this kind of shit out in the street and make the kind of comments they do, like, the shooter was sent from God to take out this Congresswoman as well as all these innocent people, including this judge, as well as a young 9-year-old child, there's two things that go through my mind. One, he's an incompassionate, non-merciful piece of garbage who doesn't give a shit about human life. However, on the other hand, all that hatred that he spews, all that garbage that comes out of his mouth is directly from his religion and his Bible. The fact that other Christians are out there standing around with their thumbs up their ass and would rather do videos telling atheists and deists and agnostics and Satanists and pagans and anybody outside their faith, even some Jews, even some Muslims, that they're all going to burn in hell if they don't follow the all-loving, all-merciful God, that they're going to go to hell, and not saying one single word to Reverend Phelps, not doing any kind of interviews or videos out there dealing with Reverend Phelps. I've looked on YouTube to find if there's any Christians dealing with this situation or trying to put a stop to what Reverend Phelps is saying. And the only person that I have discovered so far who is a Christian who has said anything about how this guy's a piece of shit is a man by the name of Street Preacher USA, who is AKA Pleasant Preacher. But the only thing Pleasant Preacher really said was that Reverend Phelps does what he does for controversy. He does it for the views, basically. And the only person that he showed compassion for in that entire situation was the child. And even said, I don't know if the 9-year-old's in heaven or hell or not. I don't know if she met the age of accountability. As though he's saying it's possible that the child could have went to hell too.
Did she go to heaven? Did she go to hell? That we do not know. She was 9 years old. There's no indication she was greatly wicked. We don't know if she's reached the age of accountability, if she was able to understand or hear the gospel. But that's a whole different story.
On one hand, my wife and I are very upset, and we're tore up by the fact that there's Christians out there who do this kind of stuff. This is something that I've known about Christianity for years, though. This is something I've talked about, how Christians wear this mask of love and compassion and mercy, but then they're more than willing to shit on another person's grave. They don't even care or respect the dead. Because of all these Christian leaders who spout all this hatred and all this sickness and bullshit, there's been droves of people leaving the churches and finding peace in other positions, such as atheism, agnosticism, paganism, and many different other forms of views and ideologies. It's because of Christians like this why it is that the crosshairs are actually pointed at the church now, and pointed at these men and women who laugh and cackle at people dying and people suffering, and then blaming it on their particular cosmic boogeyman. It's because of people like this is why Christianity is not going to last, but it's going to die in the fucking dirt where it belongs. And in that way, I can appreciate what these churches are doing. And this way, I can appreciate what Reverend Phelps is doing. Instead of hiding behind a mask, he shows you the true colors of Christianity. And it won't take long, ladies and gentlemen, for the crosshairs to finally meet their target, and that being the end. And I'm not talking about anybody dying from it. I'm talking about a religion and an ideology, a false religion such as Christianity. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
Feel free to post videos to us, whether they're on topic or not. Share your content by attaching it as a video response. Brett and I will be happy to watch, rate, and share your videos. Please don't forget to rate, sub, and favorite our videos as well. This is a community, so let's help each other. Mr. Evolution 777 can be found on MySpace and Facebook. If you enjoyed Brett's church phone calls, lots can be found at Flip TV. All links can be found in the video descriptions for your convenience. Have a great day.